mama bame, egwaro ese kwa mama bame, egwaro ese kwa mama bame, egwaro ese kwa mi yememe, egwaro ese kwa mera meme, egwaro ese kwa mi yememe, egwaro ese kwa mera meme, rumo dede na ya biame o egwaro ese. Kwa kwa mi yememe, rumo dede na ya biame o egwaro ese kwa mama bame, egwaro ese kwa mama bame, egwaro ese kwa mama bame.
How many years have you been in this music industry?
Well, professionally 60. Well, let us run down his profile. Professor Victor Uwaifo was born on the 1st of March 1941 in the neighborhood of Benin. He belongs to a clan in Benin that is called Emezi family. Emezi family in Benin term will say Egbenokbanwa Gyoba. So that is the family. It has been established that Benis have over 52 coded salutations. When a child wakes up in Benin, he does not say good morning, good morning. So such a child could be considered as rude. When a child wakes up, Lamogun, Lamesi, and that's where Professor Victor Uwaifo actually belongs. Professor Victor Uwaifo, at such an early age, at 6, he was already dancing to what they call the Spanish tunes on the gramophone. Spanish tunes on records. They were labeled GB1, GB2, GB3, so on and so forth. GB means gramophone vibes. Those days, there was this particular gramophone owned originally by their father, Pat W. Uwaifo. This is the gramophone. The gramophone was the only music box that was available at the time Professor Victor Uwaifo and his older siblings were born. This particular one was originally owned by Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo's father, Pat W. Uwaifo. Pat W. Uwaifo used to play what they call the Spanish tunes on records, on this gramophone. Sir Victor Uwaifo, when he was just 6 years of age, he used to dance so well to the Spanish tunes. As a matter of fact, what they used to do was to wind this handle. Having wound it, they will it will begin to roll, and they'll put this particular pin, and you hear music playing, and everyone, those who wanted to dance, would just dance. Perhaps in the next 5 minutes, it would have stopped, and your operator will go back there and say, just hold on, he will go back there and wind again, and the music will start again, and everybody will start dancing again. So that was it. This particular gramophone sort of, later in life, inspired Professor Victor Uwaifo when eventually he grew up to understand his environment and to become a super duper star. He came up with a music genre that he labeled a casa. Subsequently, he labeled a casa as a casa 1, a casa 2, a casa 3, a casa 4, to mention but few. It was obviously a carryover from what he used to hear from this particular gramophone. As a child, he was already building different structures. He will build cars, he will construct cars, he will construct kites. One of the kites that he constructed one day flew and joined the cloud. And they didn't see it again. So he had been so adept in so many ways, whether musically or otherwise. That's one man who could have been an engineer if destiny had taken him to that direction. He could as well have been a lawyer. Most of in fact, his siblings, they were lawyers. In fact, we still have one of his other brothers was a Supreme Court judge, Justice of the Supreme Court. We're talking about Right Honorable Justice S.O. Uwaifo, the brother to Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo of the Supreme Court, now retired. Before now, he was the Chancellor for the Anglican Communion. I'm talking about Right Honorable Justice S.O. Uwaifo, the other brother. And all these people, they were also musically inclined. Along so, the scope of music is something that actually grew up in that family. It was something they inherited from their parents. The mother used to be Iyagbe in Baptist those days, and she used to be the chorus leader. Even their father was a lover of music. Imagine somebody who put a gramophone then. And gramophone was the only in thing those days. No electricity. So the only music box that was available was a gramophone. And the father had it. He was playing cheap records on, and he Professor Victor Uwaifo caught up with that trend. He kept on playing music. He was also into his academics.
Well, music has been part of my life. Art has been part of my life. Inventions have been part of my life. And sports have been part of my life. Anything worth doing also has been part of my life. As a matter of fact, I was born into a family of very prominent and music-oriented people. They belong to different disciplines, but there's one common creativity, talent, and that is the music in us. But I took it to the next level, and that's where we are. It's a gramophone record there, gramophone. I was born in an era of gramophone music. You know, gramophone, you wind it and then you let it go and start playing. No electricity, nothing.
No batteries?
No batteries, no. It just, I will just do a little bit of it for you. See, this is gramophone. This is gramophone. Gramophone, you wind it like this, then you release it.
Evaluation gave me a blow. When the pound that fell down so low, the cost of living gone up so high. I love the goods, but I cannot buy. Some people say no, others not to say not so. But it's resting on my mind. The dollar is hard to find.
So something like
You
that.
don't charge it, you don't
No, you don't charge
to
anything.
it.
No, just like, you know, like in those wristwatch, you just wind it.
That's all. No
Then it
batteries,
starts
no
from
nothing.
nothing. So that was the era.
And this one is still working after years and years.
Yes.
But it's not in the market anymore though.
No. You can find it abroad.
Oh my
But
God.
it's expensive because all these are special products.
How many years have you been in this music industry?
Well, professionally 60. No, it's more than that. Professionally, well, 60. But I am going to 78. I'm a lot. I've
Hey,
seen.
you don't look 78.
Yes, so that's it. I grew up, schooled in Benin, Western Boys High School, and St. Gregory's College, Lagos, and Yaba College of Technology. I was already a graduate before I went into music, professionally. The first graduate also in Nigeria to play music professionally from Yaba College of Technology. And later years, when I had at the peak of my career, I went back to school. I enrolled at the University of Benin to read sculpture. And I made first class honors, and I was the best student. And so I became a valedictorian, and I read the valedictory speech on behalf of the rec students. And I did my master's degree there, and then a PhD. So you can see that in music, I'm already an institution. In sculpture, I'm a researcher, and I have set a record that is yet to be equaled, or to be, it will take a long time, because I'm not just, apart from music, I'm an artist, I'm a sculptor, I'm a philosopher, I'm an architect. I designed this house, I built it.
You built it yourself?
Yes, I designed the aeroplane, the house, I built it. I designed the museum, I built it. And I invent musical instruments. The revolving magic guitar that spins round. You see them in the video. And then the sixth finger, what I call sixth finger, to play extra musical notes. Put this on my finger like this. And I used it to play extra notes on the guitar.
You are the first person that started doing that,
Of
right?
course, now. This one was just last year. I keep doing things, new things. I develop new ideas and I put them into practice.
And you are the first person to create a guitar that has a two
heads here with 18 strings. Yes.
So what happened after you did that?
I made use of it in the 60s, and I was done with it. And I always look for something new.
Did you introduce it to another country?
Well, it was already on the net, so I should take the patent right. So most of these things, Nigerian government should have taken them up and then reproduce and make them big business. But if it's not oil, nobody's interested here. So I put that one aside.
And if you look at it, he invented a double neck guitar. There was no such guitar on earth. On invention in 1967, he took it to London for an electrifying performance. The white man saw it and started replicating it, because at that time he hadn't the patent right. But as a way of making a follow-up, in 1985, he came up with this one that he calls a magical wonder guitar. You can see an integration of the keyboard and the guitar.
He invented it
His
here in
invention,
Nigeria.
based on one and only on earth.
He did it
Not
here in Nigeria.
He did it here in Benin City. He did it here right in Benin City, but it's the first and only kind of guitar that goes like this. There's no other such guitar. This one also has a revolving facility that enables him to spin it around 360 degrees. So this is the first of its kind. He's at the verge of getting the patent right of this particular one.
These are
Some of the costumes he used on stage. And if you wish to know this was the very first acoustic guitar that he played when he was only just 12 years of age. English acoustic guitar.
He created it, or bought by?
He bought it, the first English bass guitar he bought.
Okay. So you are the first winner of a gold disc in Africa as a whole.
As a whole.
Okay.
That's the song Joromi. And it became an anthem even in Ghana. So, there was even a dress named after Joromi dress in Ghana.
When did you compose the song Joromi?
It was released in 1965.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
So
I was in Wodeka.
Wodeka. She was not born at all.
Joromi in Benin mythology was a wrestler, the world champion. He conquered the world and he thought he should go to hell where the devils had 7 heads, and he thought they were better off with 1 head each. So he climbed a palm tree, a mysterious palm tree, which sin or man was warned by his father not to climb. So when he climbed the palm tree, he saw 7 heads, the 7-headed devils. So the sister turned into a fly, followed him. In the wrestling arena, he threw the 7-headed devil, plucked off 1 head, and that was when he started singing a chorus. Kese, kese, joromio, omi, kisi. Is they plucked off their heads one after the other and left them with 1 head each. And that's the story of Joromi.
So that's it. It's a long story.
So tell us more about yourself, what you have been doing. I saw the gallery, I went through the
It's not gallery, it's a museum.
Museum, okay. I went through the museum, I saw many artworks there.
Those are my works, I made them.
You made all?
All of them. I'm a sculptor.
All right, this is what we call the Revolution Tourist Palazzo. The president and founder is none other than the foremost entertainer, Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo, MONJP. As a matter of fact, this is where the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of Benin Kingdom, in particular, Edo people, Nigerian people, African people in particular, and the rest of the world in general are being showcased. The Revolution Tourist Palazzo, the tourist center, is informative, educative, inspirational, and entertaining. We're about to see what made this place stick as the largest independent tourist center in Africa. Professor Victor Uwaifo, more than any Edo man, whether dead or alive, has taken the Nigerian music or Edo music or the Benin music to the global podium. He is one protagonist and paradigm that the world looks up to. He has advocated for arts, he's an advocate for tourism, an advocate for culture. He believes in the culture of our people. He believes, and he says like James Agri of Ghana, I'm proud of my color. He who is not proud of his color is not fit to live. He's a true Nigerian. He breathes Nigeria, he talks Nigeria, he advocates Nigeria, he preaches Nigeria, he sermonizes it. And that is what Professor Victor Uwaifo has done all over the years. That makes him indeed foremost. Every work you find here...
Do you think he's a cultural custodian?
Oh yeah, it's a custodian of Benin culture. In fact, apart from the Oba of Benin, the Omonobanedo, Guapolopolo, Oba Tokpe, there is none other Benin man who has the culture of Benin woven around him than Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo. In 1965, when Joromi was released, the song Joromi was released in 1965. In fact, 3 days of his release, it has sold well over 100,000 copies. It was a single. And then subsequently, in the next 6 months, it has sold in millions. The copies were all over the world. And then there were people who were so curious all over the world. They would ask with a glint in their eyes, what is this new song that you sing? And what is this new dance that you dance? The people always got the same answer. They originate, they dance. The song is joromi. The entrancing dance step is akwete. And the originator is Sir Victor Uwaifo.
Even till yesterday, you see some of my works. If you go to Bowa campus now, you will see at the T junction before the Akideko Hall, you will see one of my works there, 20 feet high, with ivory tusks. It's in the royal altarpiece.
So here he said Honorable Ambassador
Culture and Tourism.
So
I was the ambassador plenipotentiary of River State when Donald Duke was the governor there. They made me the ambassador plenipotentiary. Extraordinary.
Oh my God. Okay, currently what are you doing?
I'm a researcher, and I'm still playing. I play engagements of people, who can afford to hire my services. Come and they, 2 months ago, last month or so, yeah, I had a show in Benin, and I've been having shows all over the country, Abuja and the rest, early this year. I'm still performing, and I'm still researching. In academics, I was a lecturer, between 2006 and 2014 at the University of Benin.
And you have how many degrees? Tell us.
Two degrees.
PhDs.
In fact, yes. I have, if you talk of degrees, I have BA honors, first class. When you say somebody has a first class honors, it's something that is, people understand what it is. Then I have master's degree. Then I have a PhD. So I'm an institution. It's not gainsaying, and I'm a researcher. I'm still researching.
Okay. Tell us more about your work with regards to Benin culture.
You have seen all, and there's no need to talk about it again. You go to Oba Kenzwa Cultural Complex, you will see those works there. I made them. Oba Kenzwa there and the other chief. My works are all over the country. So you will read from that book, the Revelation Palazzo, you will see most of them, you make up your composition from there.
Palazzo Museum.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
and I saw that you focus more on the historical context of Benin culture.
Yes, because you don't know Benin if you have not been to Revelation Palazzo Museum. Because before you know it, people forget easily. If you do not document history, you lose the history. People make history, but they don't document history. And that's why I'm doing all this one. In writing and in documentation physically. And you can, so that people can learn from it. You have to take from the past to advance the future. So we must be able to understand history from the roots. Our heritage is very rich, very rich. Our culture is rich. And so we need to preserve the history through documentation. And through the museum, the artworks and writing, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And so while I'm alive, I continue to do my best to preserve our heritage.
Do you see yourself as the custodian of Benin culture?
Well, the Oba is the first custodian of Benin culture, but I have accelerated it, I have added value to it in my own way, all along. Everybody is a custodian of culture. You are, as you're talking now, you're also already adding value to our culture.
Yeah, according to what you said before, you said something. Music is something in your lineage, your family, your parents. Were they musicians?
No, they were not musicians. If my father had a gramophone, which means he was a lover of music before I was born, that one I just played. But everybody in the family can play an instrument or the other, one of instrument, the other. I have brothers who were engineers, lawyers. One is still alive, who is still who recently who served as a judge of the Supreme Court. You know.
As of 1963, he was already a graduate at the Yaba College of Technology in Lagos. Then in 1991, he came back to re-enroll, to pick up, to dust his papers and began his academic career again. And he became, in fact, he backed his BA in Fine Stroke Applied Arts Department. He got a first class.
That's what he said.
He made a first class.
It's always on top.
And he was the one, on behalf of graduating students that year, who read the valedictory speech. He was a student who did that. And he did not stop there. He went for his master's. He didn't stop there. He went for his doctorate. As I speak with you, Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo is at the verge of getting or bagging his second doctorate degree.
At his age?
Oh, yes, at his age. His works speak volume. One of in his first degree, his special project is at Ekewa campus. Right now, his doctorate degree project right now, if you go down to Bowo campus, it is majestically positioned there, over 20 feet.
So, one other question about him. He encountered Mammy water.
The mammy, yes, he did. At a barbecue in Lagos, that was in 1967.
Really?
Yes, he did. It was one-on-one. Although sometimes it calls it a esoteric experience.
But it was visible to only him.
He saw the mermaid. Are you getting? He describes it as esoteric, but I'm talking about one-on-one, just the way I'm interacting with you. That was what happened. He was accustomed to going to the barbecue to relax. You know, when he finished from the Yaba College of Technology, he gained an appointment as assistant graphic head at Nigerian Television Service, now NTA, in Lagos, you know, Victoria Island. That's where. So the TV station and the barbecue is just a stone throw. So he had the privilege of always going there. Sometimes he would go there with the boys to strum the guitar. But on this particular occasion, he was all alone. He went and he strummed through the night. At about 1:30 a.m., he welcomed the chance to go back to freshen up for the day's activities. As he went, picked up his camp bed and his guitar. And when he turned, he suddenly saw a strange figure on the sea. In fact, in the midst of this torrential affairs, you know, at the barbecue you have a wall of water coming from right, another wall of water coming from the left. It's coming to slap each other at the middle. That was when the mermaid suddenly appeared. In fact, he was stunned. In description, she was so beautiful. The mermaid was silvery. And in fact, the only way to describe the beauty of the mermaid is to begin to talk about the impressionistic art of a famous painter, poet, architect, scientist called Leonardo da Vinci, who actually painted the most beautiful woman that he called Mona Lisa. In further description, Professor Victor Uwaifo observed with dismay that from the head down to the waist she was human, but from the waist down she was fish. He was momentarily lost in the wilderness of words. He could neither run nor shout. But eventually, when he came back from the recess of his mind, as he went for his camp bed and his guitar, he was going to take to his heels, just like lightning. The mermaid just swam towards him, looked at him intently in the eyes, and then said, "Victor Uwaifo, guitar boy. If you see Mammy Water, never, never you run away.
The man spoke
Oh
English?
yes, English. Victor Uwaifo.
So he replied him in English.
You know, Victor Uwaifo, he was stunned. He said, That was what he replicated with the pulling of that string. Guitar boy, It was a way of replicating that encounter.
The man
Yes.
was speaking English.
Oh yes, spoke English, clear tone English, articulate English. That was what she spoke. Looked at him and said, Victor Uwaifo, if you see Mammy Water, never, never you run away. As soon as that tidings was passed across, she just turned, swam away. And Professor Victor Uwaifo, regaining consciousness again, quickly picked his guitar and his comeback took to his heels. He never went back to the bar beach anymore until later in life when he came back to settle down in Benin. So that was the encounter that he had with the mermaid. It was not based on fiction. It was based on fact. It was actually what happened in 1967 at the bar beach in Lagos.
But the mermaid was visible to all
Visible.
Only him.
I wouldn't say only him because he was the only one that was present at that time at about 1:30 a.m.
Okay.
So probably if there were other people there, they would have seen the mermaid as well.
I think it's something that appeared to only him.
Well, it is that one. Apart from being a performing artist or a maestro, a global maestro who has conquered the whole world in the field of entertainment, he's also a visual artist. He has produced a lot of works. In a special project, he was the one who produced Obaesige, riding on his horse and accompanied by a live leopard. He was the one who actually reminisced into that history, unfolded the book, opened the book wide open to all of us to remember that once upon a time, 1550 AD, there was an Oba called Obaesige, the son of Idiani Yesigi.
So he created a portrait of the palace inside the museum.
Yes.
Also this Overame Square.
Oh yes, the Overame Square is there. We have open air court where you have a bust of some important personalities, especially the Obas. We about Overame, we have Overame Square. That one tells the entire story about what happened in 1897. That is Benin Massacre, or some people call it Benin Expedition. We also have that. There you are going to see Asoro in his regalia. Some of the works that he did. You'll find Chief also, whose hands were tied behind. You're going to find Obaye Olobose, who actually confronted Captain Phillips. It was he, Olobose, who actually shot Captain Phillips, killed him, and 5 others. Only 2 of them escaped. Those who escaped they got to Sapele, and from then they sent a radio message describing the situation as very, very serious. So Professor Victor Uwaifo has been able to place tabs on all these events, a way of reminding the generations that are not born yet to know where they're coming from.
Who's going to take over his work?
Oh, well, he's the one who has always said, he's also a philosopher. He says a genius has no duplicate.
Oh.
His successors are very, very unlikely.
To be like him.
He also said that no man is indispensable. The best brains could be found in the grave. Nobody is indispensable. So what it simply means is that, in as much as we see him from that angle of being a virtuoso, a legend of legends, it's an epitome of entertainment. Wherever, when Victor Uwaifo climbs the stage, this man has unequaled personality. He could take his audience by storm at any given moment. He will hold his audience spellbound and they'll begin to ask for more. With his staccato and legato beats.
He's a genius.
He's a genius of no mean repute.
Nobody like him.
No. In fact, God Almighty has endowed this man so well.
Yeah, when you arrive in this street, immediately you arrive in this street, you will see the artwork.
because he's a paradigm. He's a model, a role model to the call.
He's exceptional in everything.
Oh, yes,
when it comes
yes.
to music, when it comes to invention, when it comes to artwork, he's always exceptional. He actually built a house in form of an airplane.
Look at an aircraft here.
Yes.
So if you, wherever you want to travel to, wherever you want to go, you just come to Revelation Tourist Palazzo Flight. He designed it.
He designed it, yeah. And inside, it looks exactly like an airplane.
Yes, it's an airplane.
It's a house.
Yes, and you have the pilot always ready to welcome all of us. The host there.
It has two wheels.
And the hostesses.
It
there.
has two wheels.
Oh yeah, you have the wheat there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So this is the airplane, inside the airplane.
Oh yes, yes. And then you have an enclosure like a real airplane. It is a concept of Professor Victor Uwaifo.
Yeah, he's very creative.
Oh yes, yeah, man,
Yeah, he's born to be. He's very
destined.
creative.
That's his destiny. He says a genius comes but once.
He's a genius.
Genius says a genius has no successor. It comes only once. His successor, very, very unlikely. So he's a genius.
And he started
Geniuses are very few and far between.
And he started when he was very young.
Oh yes. At the age of 6, he was already dancing to Spanish tunes on records. He danced so graciously that he would spread some pennies those days. He grew up in a family of music, and he's been into music. But one remarkable thing about him is the fact that he tried proving his father wrong, even right in his grave. He proved him wrong by going to school. Because those days, his father was an elite. His father was a disciplinarian to the core and very strict. His father never wanted them to have anything to do with music, because those days, music was associated with womanizing, tobacco smoking, and then
Deviant behavior.
unshore lives and, criminality, to mention but few. But this man picked up the guitar and began to play it, and the father once seized his guitar. That was later retrieved, passionately retrieved, humbly, passionately, and lovingly retrieved by the mother.
Not just only a musician, he's also an artist.
You know what we call him? We call him virtuoso of the art.
Yes.
A virtuoso is someone who has ability in every facet of art. He is a maestro. In fact, the best you can ever find amongst the black race in the African continent. As a matter of fact, he came in a unique way.
Very unique.
He conquered like Julius Caesar did, bestriding the whole world like a mounted colossus. As a matter of fact, Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo is a blend between the academia and the world, the visual arts and the performing. He